camera, you've got everything you need.
It does go off the crime as well. Like, police are underfunded. Like, if somebody said robbed your bike from the shed, they just give you a crime reference number. But if you said you got great, they're not going to give you a crime reference number. They're going to take it more seriously than.
But I think I read somewhere before, Jeremy, that there's a massive backlog in the UK of rape cases that have gone uninvestigated and things. I read that somewhere. Hang on, let me try and find it.
Most probably, Alicia. How many get investigated? Anything full stop?
Why don't they send? You know when stuff like this happens, yeah? Why don't they send
Lewis? How are we, big man?
A forensic team type thing to get DNA?
Hey, Lewis, fuck off.
Stuff like that.
So it says the UK is experiencing a significant and worsening backlog of rape and sexual offence cases in the Crown Court. As of September 2025, there were over 13,000 sexual offence cases awaiting trial, a 40% increase in 2 years. So there's a massive backlog as well.
How did it end with the other one? Sorry, I had to make
He left.
Call.
I got a call as well halfway through questioning her. And they were all arguing when I got back.
It kind of went straight off the Smexomnia topic and went on to, like...
As far as I'm concerned, and people probably hate me for it, but she condoned the grape business and still stayed with the man, still got the man in there, and actually put in Discord yesterday that she's actually...
Who?
That Jodes girl.
Yeah, what happened? I don't understand.
The one that was in here when I come in.
Yeah, so basically this is how it all started, Alicia. She came on the panel a little while ago and I wasn't going to bring her name up, yeah, and I didn't bring her name up today. I was just asking people about it and she made herself known. So basically she came in here not so long ago and she said, oh, her bloke's got something called smexomnia, yeah?
Yeah.
And so obviously Trey was having a word with her. She said to Trey that while she was sleeping, her husband put his thing straight in her and was effing her while she was sleeping.
And she tried to push him.
I said, okay, so do you know that's grape? Like, regardless, if you're sleeping and he's saying he doesn't remember it and all of that and you've just let it go, like, it's weird. Yeah, so she didn't do nothing about it. She stayed with him. She went to the GP and they diagnosed him apparently with this thing and put him on sertraline, which doesn't make sense. So I said to her, I don't know how you could be with someone like that. If it wasn't happening, Alicia, and supposedly he's had this condition, yeah, born with it or had it, how is it that before they got married he never done any of this stuff, but now you're married, he's comfortable in doing that? And she actually said that she has gave him literally the consent for him to do that while she's sleeping, because he's got that going on.
But the first time he did it, it wasn't consensual because they didn't even know he had that, whatever it is, smexomnia.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game, isn't it? Like,
well, I was explaining on panel yesterday, if my husband did that, yeah, even though we're married, and if I woke up with him pumping me, and like he's just fucking staring off in my eyes and I try to push him off, that's grape. And
yeah, and she's saying, Alicia, that it happens once a month and stuff. And you know, like when you go to the doctors, they don't diagnose you there, do they? They say, oh, it could be this, but we'll have to take you to a paediatrician or a consultant or something.
I would think that they would have to like
do some
overnight tests and things.
Yeah, some sleep. It's like a sleep monitor that will detect if that is that. She never had any of that. And all I said to her was, I find it a bit weird that you've got someone like that in your house, whether they're your husband or not, and it's happening quite frequent, that you've got your children in the same house. And she thought I was attacking her for her children and her parenting. But to me, you're putting your children at risk by having someone like that in the house. Because she said, Alicia, that she has to put a baby gate up as a precaution in her kids' room. Yeah, in her kids' room. And also, she pushed her bed against the wall, makes him sleep on the inside, that if he gets out the bed at night, she can feel him going over her to get out the bedroom. What sort of fuckery is that?
That is mad.
I'm just
that is weird.
Now.
That is what you said, Jodes. It's in Discord. I can show you what you said.
And personally,
can I just ask one other thing regarding like the diagnosis that sertraline is given for depression.
Yeah, I said that.
And secondly, it's a very, very rare. I've heard of it, but it's an incredibly rare condition.
There's only 160 people when I've looked up being diagnosed with that.
Yeah, so it would be quite odd for a GP to just say, "Hey, here's some antidepressants," and then
Jodes, are you trying to say I'm lying?
my
Because that
company
is
Can
what
I
you said.
just say, like, I've just looked it up,
Yeah.
and it says the rule is. Jeremy, can you mute?
Jeremy, can you mute?
It says the rule is that a person cannot.
Stephanie, would I meet your shower? Thank you.
A person cannot be held criminally responsible for involuntary acts, so blah blah blah, whatever. But me personally, like, I get why she's taking precautions, like she wants to wake up if he's there, blah blah blah, whatever. But if I had to put gates up in case they went into my children's room, like, for me, that would be I understand you've got something that you can't help, but
That's a red flag.
I would not have someone like that in my home personally.
As I was trying to say to her earlier, Alicia, her having that conversation to say, I understand what you've got and it's okay, you're giving him consent.
Yeah.
And then going to the doctor who's not sent him to a specialist, saying that he has this condition, it's giving him an excuse. So he could do that every night of the week under the guise of these excuses, and you gave me consent, sweetheart.
And that's putting
That
love.
to me, I said it to her, and then I got a call. So
It's a really difficult situation because if he's been diagnosed,
I'm sorry, Alicia, but that to me, that's
no, but I'm saying if he's been diagnosed and they've put things
But
in
he
place
hasn't
and
been
they've had
diagnosed,
discussions-
Alicia.
But Alicia, he only went to the GP and they gave him.
He hasn't been
sertraline.
diagnosed.
He hasn't been to anywhere to have any tests.
Yeah, I
done
would
or
be
anything.
saying, like, we need to be like, if I wanted to be with him, which I don't think I would be.
Guys, what if something happens, God forbid, to the kid, one of the kids?
I wouldn't
No,
even risk
don't
it.
even
See,
think
I wouldn't
about-
even risk it. Like, personally, no.
But then again, you're putting love over the love of your child. That's mad.
I wouldn't risk it. It wouldn't be something I would ever put my children in a situation like that. But I just, like, you'd be saying, if you wanted to stay with them, you'd be saying, right, we're going to specialists, we're doing this, and for the time being, you're not going to be staying in the home while you're sleeping. You're going to have to stay somewhere else, blah, blah, blah.
She was literally, one second, she was on the panel before saying she's a deep sleeper too, which is worrying.
Yeah, and can I just say though as well, you see people that are saying in the chat, yeah, that victims refuse to see it. I'm sorry, you don't refuse to see that you've got a weirdo in your house. Yeah, if this didn't happen when you first got together, why all of a sudden has this started happening? Haven't you never thought of that as a red flag? It's weird behaviour to me.
That was my line in question. And
Do you get what I mean, Alicia? Have you met someone and
she was with the guy for 2 years.
Why is it took you to marry somebody for then that to happen? That to me is weird behaviour.
I just personally wouldn't risk my kids
Yeah,
with
but
anything.
that's a very, very, very risky situation.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, very risky.
And then she's saying that we're out of order for speaking about it. How are we all out of order for speaking about it when you brought it onto the panel?
Yeah, if she's spoken about it, then it's something that can be discussed. If she said to everyone on the panel, it's something that can be discussed.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of it. I'm literally looking up.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I brought it up today is because I would like to know if there's anyone else that's going through the same thing. Because if that's the case, it's like, if this is a diagnosis, which I don't think it should be.
Whoa, what happened there?
I think it should be a thing that it shouldn't be acceptable by any medical person if someone's doing that, because they've got to be having some kind of dream or some mentality in their brain to be thinking like that during their sleep when someone else is sleeping as well. It's not making sense, because how is it that you don't know what you're doing but you can find the hole good enough to be inside? Make that make sense to me. You don't know what you're doing but you found the hole. Make it make sense.
You're being referred to the way they sleep, honey.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ali. You wouldn't be able to find the hole if you was in your sleep and you didn't know what you was doing. How comes you knew exactly where the hole was and you continued with your divvy act? And no, it's not buying it with me. I'm sorry. I can't.
I just don't understand why it was all brought up on a panel if she didn't want people to talk about it. That's where I'm struggling here.
As a man, you could be sexually, I don't know, active.
Well, respectfully,
Yeah.
she didn't want to speak of people to speak about
But
it.
I
She
get
couldn't
that.
hold us.
You know, like when, like, all right, cool. So I'm not going to be biased to thingy, right? But you know, like when you are with someone for so long or whatever, and like he might wake up in the morning and going to work and you're still sleeping, and you might feel him like touch you somewhere to wake you up. Do you get what I mean? That's a different kind of story to somebody. You are waking up on them, and she said that she woke up, his thing was inside her. He was doing his business, yeah? And she stared at him and he stared at her. And then she tried to push him off and he wouldn't get off. Is that not a red flag? That's exactly what she said.
Yeah.
That is mad.
And then she said that after that situation, she gave him consent. That is what she said.
She's her excuse was.
So sorry,
she said
I
that she
missed
was
that.
a
Did
deep
she just give
sleeper.
like open-ended
She said that she was a
consent?
deep
She's basically
sleeper.
give him
It's-
open
it's
consent that
worrying.
when she's sleeping, he can do what he wants because the doctor has
Yes.
diagnosed it with that. And he hasn't been to no specialist. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. It's disgusting behaviour.
The first time wasn't consented because the first time they didn't know what was going on.
Right, and there you go. I've just had a phone call with my doctor. I've got an appointment to be diagnosed with it. How many other men are going to be going to the doctors and doing the same thing?
No, it doesn't happen. You would get you should have got referred straight away to a sleep clinic.
Yep,
That's what I'm saying.
I've got a mental health issue. My doctor might think, yeah, you've got depression. We'll give you these tablets, but that's just his
And like
opinion.
I said, Devon, it's not her fault.
They need to send you a specialist to be
It's not her
diagnosed
fault.
properly.
Yeah, but Devon, it's not her fault in sense of what he does as an act. That's not her. But what is your problem is that you've got this person in your house. You've condoned. I'm sorry, but you've condoned the behaviour from the get-go when it was grape and you didn't know about any diagnosis. So therefore, how comes it wasn't happening before you got with this guy? It's only happening now you're with this guy. I find that creepy. There's no words for it. How do you randomly just have something going
It does
on?
sound a bit weird that you were together for 2 years and
nothing happened.
This has started happening a month after you
So
got married.
to me, what it looks like is this guy's probably got a past, yeah? Made it look good, married her, and then now bringing his past and getting away with it because of that. That's what it looks like to me. There's something hidden in this story that doesn't puzzle up together. Something's missing.
As I was saying about therapy, I don't think she's spoken to anybody about it other than the doctor with him. You need, if you can hear me, George, you need to go and speak to someone about this professionally and explain the situation and find out where you stand, sweetheart, because in my eyes, this is marital rape.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my opinion. But
Devon, if you'd read the Discord messages yesterday, it's like you were digging yourself a deeper and deeper and deeper hole, thinking that the females that were in there were not triggered by what you were saying and were going to have your back in the situation. I'm sorry. One thing I can't have anyone's back on, whether it's a condition or not, I would, even if you wanted to be with this person, you'd have to live separate to me because I can't have that around my children, regardless of how much I love you or whatever. I could never live in my house thinking I've got to sleep with one eye open.
It doesn't matter what the situation, the first thing you need to do is protect your children.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a couple with no children and you want to work through it and go,
then fair enough,
whatever,
Alicia. That's what I said yesterday.
When there's children involved and you're having to put things in place to make sure it doesn't happen to your children. Not saying that he's ever done anything to them, because obviously you've not said that, but it's just not even worth the risk for me. For what? Someone who's suffering from an alleged medical condition, for my kids to be traumatized for life? No, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Alicia, you just said the exact word, alleged.
I just looked it up and it says things about recreational rug use and alcohol and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. How do you know that he wasn't on all of that or is not on all of that? We don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, to me, it just sounds like a story of Balamori that has been bits missing.
Well, hey, guys, what
to
about
get him on the panel would be interesting.
What about if that
get his point of view?
What about if the baby gate's open?
But then she tried to say that the baby gate was there so the kids didn't fall down the stairs. Now,
also, she's a deep sleeper in her words on this panel before. She's a deep sleeper.
Yeah, I just don't understand anyway, in the beginning, why she said in front of 100 people that day, that situation, when she didn't have to. She needs to understand that people are going to have their say. People ain't going to agree with it, whether you're saying it's a condition or not, because it happened before.
Well, she's saying it's unfair that we're speaking about it. I invited you, though.
There you go, George.
It is.
There you go,
George.
Made the space for you.
George, come up.
Like I said, Z, when I came in here, I mentioned a situation and asked anyone if they knew anything about it. She then came on the panel and said about talking about her. So she made it obvious that it was her in a situation. I never mentioned her name because I wouldn't do that. I didn't come on here and say that. She mentioned it all herself.
Yeah.
Chelsea in the comments, stop going for Special K and demanding that Devon rise you. You're not that important. Send him money gun like everybody else.
No,
Don't ever
because
go for
Chelsea's
special
saying about
case.
Chelsea's saying about safeguarding her children, but she didn't safeguard her children when she came on here, actually saying it in the beginning in front of 100 people, guys. 100 people it was said in front of. And the way it was said was
And
mad.
George, this is not. Nobody's attacking you or being malice to you. We're trying to understand it. Well, I'm trying to understand the situation.
Well, I know you're not talking, but other
I
people have
think
come
you
to my
need to go and
parenting
speak to a
saying that-
therapist. Let someone, a professional, know everything that's went on and go from there.
Jodes, let me put the shoe on the other foot. If I came to you and I was on this panel and I said what came out of your mouth that day, and I said to you that I've got children in my house, would you not see me as a bit of a shit mum? In all fairness, be honest.
No.
You wouldn't.
Because I would.
Because you're at
Do
the
you know
stage
why
where
I
you think this is
wouldn't?
normal.
Do you know why I wouldn't?
No,
Because
sorry.
No. As a mother, I would believe that you, as a mother, knowing what I know about you, would do everything you possibly fucking could to make sure your children.
But you shouldn't have to do that, though. You shouldn't have to put precautions in your house because you've got a creep in there and you don't know what's going to happen during the night.
He's not a creep.
Oh, he's not a creep. So, but all right. So, explain to me before you got married. Why didn't it happen when you was with him prior to that? Why does it only happen when you've got married? Don't you feel like this man's got a past? Have you checked Claire's law? Do you even know about this guy because you married him quite quick?
Yeah, I have done Claire's law. I did it before he moved in with me and my children.
Can I just point out another red flag, right? Before on the panel you said you're a deep sleeper, yeah? But yesterday you were saying he'd wake you up if you moved out of bed. Can you explain
Because
that,
he would
please?
have to climb over me to get out of bed.
But do you know,
That's why the bed's against the wall. That makes
yeah,
sense.
but do you know, in a normal household, the man actually sleeps by the women sleep on the inside and the man sleeps on the outside. So if anyone
Yeah,
comes
yeah. I
to
sleep on the left side.
Yeah, so the
I'm
man's
sorry,
defensive.
I'm sorry, but doing Claire's law isn't crazy.
That's standard.
Yeah,
Doing
that's how
Claire's
it
law
is.
isn't
Well,
crazy
personally,
And I
that's all
said
I've
this.
known.
I said this the other day. When you go to a restaurant and you've got the booths, a man sits in the booth with a woman's back to everyone else in the restaurant. For that reason, is so the man can see the front door, the kitchen door, and
It's
everything
not
that's going on in the restaurant.
1957. Everybody, stop.
What do you mean it's not 1957?
It's
It's
not
natural,
1957.
sweetheart.
No, but Alicia, don't you think it's right that in a household, the man sleeps on the outside of the bed majority of the time?
I don't know. I've never thought. I've never.
Do you know why it is? It's because I have to piss a lot, to be quite honest.
No, but it doesn't matter. It
But I
doesn't
just
matter.
said I piss a
It's
lot,
a man's
and I climb
natural
over that. I
instinct.
piss a lot during the night, and I climb over that motherfucker. Yeah.
It's a man's natural instinct to be close to the door because if anybody bursts into the door,
It's true though. It's true. When I was young, yeah, once some guy broke into our house downstairs, and I was sleeping with my brother in the same room with my mum and my dad. I was only young, about 5 or 6, and my dad ran straight down the stairs. You have to be on the accessible, and I'm not saying it's going to happen like I was used to, but it's usually like that, so it's more accessible for the guy to.
why do you think men walk on the outside, you walk on the inside when you're walking down the street?
Yeah.
Can I
It's just little things. It's natural to
Every
me.
time I start about my side of the bed.
Can I
Jode,
just
would
say
you mind if
something to
I...
Jode? Sorry, B. Sorry, just
No.
quickly. I'm not coming for your parenting or your relationship. I'm just saying, in that situation, from what I've just been told, that's my personal what I would do. So I'm not, because I don't want people to ever think I'm coming for like their kids or any of this shit. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but
it's
Alicia,
a
I
mad
wasn't. I was just trying to
situation.
say.
Yeah, no, I know.
In that situation, it has to. That you can't
It's
live
just
like
a mad
that.
situation.
Yeah.
Like I've never even heard of it.
I do understand everyone's opinions on it. Like, I've not sat here and say, oh, no, you're all fucking wrong. Because
Well, you did in Discord.
No, I said...
Saying that we're all stuck up each other's asses and that. Did you forget about that about an hour ago?
That's what I think. That's my
Who's
personal
stuck up
opinion.
each other's asses though? How? What? Because we got an opinion that's different to you. You don't mind having a guy like that in your house and floating around doing whatever to you while you're sleeping.
No,
we don't all like that.
If you're taking these precautions in your own home, where your kids live,
How can a man be basically
So you're
shagging the
not
life
even
out of
letting
you while
me
you're
speak.
asleep? What is he getting
You're
out
not
of
even
that?
letting me speak. You're all just speaking over me all the time. Like, I don't understand. No one is sitting here and being like, okay, yeah, why do you think that doing this was okay?
So,
and do you know what?
I was earlier, George.
No, I'm not saying
I was
you
speaking
haven't,
to you
Devin.
calmly.
I'm not saying
in
you
the
haven't.
voice that I am
talking about
now.
others. I was talking about others.
But the
You
thing
don't sit
is,
here and talk to me.
no, but people are going to be upset because I believe you've been taken advantage of.
Okay, and that's your opinion. I
Yeah,
personally didn't
CB, she
believe I
said
was.
before that the GP diagnosed smexomnia. I'll drop and come back. I slipped up.
Yes, the GP said about the smexomnia.
So
George,
he's using that as an excuse, sweetheart.
No, he's not, because I was with him. I was
Yeah,
getting
no,
the
but
GPs with
that's the
him.
thing.
Sorry,
No,
can
but-
I just ask Jode one quick thing? If
Fucking hell.
you have children in the house, yeah?
Yes.
Now, if your child came to you when they're older and told you everything that you have told us on the panel about what had happened, what would be your response?
I'd fucking kill him.
So do you see where we're coming from?
Yeah, I think
Can't
Jodes
say
as
that on
well.
the panel.
Sometimes it cannot be put across the correct way, but I think people are coming from a place of concern rather than it's just sometimes it's just not put across correctly.
No, earlier on, before I got my collie, Lucia, I was talking to her. I was taking it from the beginning when she met the guy, and we were up to the point that the doctor had told her, them both.
Maybe we can just let her speak, because obviously it's her life that is being put under the microscope here.
Excuse me?
I said maybe we can just let her speak, because obviously we do. No, but we do all keep speaking over her.
Yeah, we have been, and that's why earlier I was doing it one-on-one. It was just me and her, and I was asking questions that everybody had been firing at her, so it wasn't so overwhelming. And we had got to the point where I was asking her about how she'd been to therapy for it, and how she spoke to someone
I think
professional.
Auntie's coming from a place of concern, but sometimes she just doesn't vocalise that the same way as someone else would. Do you know what I mean? But I do. I think it's from a place of concern rather than anything else.
I'm not saying it isn't, but it does very feel like sometimes that it's just constant attacking.
No, but
Nobody's attacked you.
no one's
I'm not saying you have. I'm saying
No
that in the Discord
no
and
one
stuff, it
has
felt like
attacked.
attack.
No, excuse me, George. This is the thing. No one's attacked you.
We're just thinking about you and the kids.
You've come up and explained the situation, and a lot of it didn't add up. So you've been questioned for it. That's all. And then today, when Auntie started talking about it, Auntie hasn't mentioned your name. You come up and done that all yourself.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
I said Auntie come up and started the conversation. She didn't mention you at all, because again, I've never heard of this. And we can be talking about anybody's situation, not you, but we can talk about anybody's situation. How can you accept this happening? If we get someone like yourself who's been through it, the people will ask questions. How long were you with? Like what I was doing.
Yeah, and I do understand, obviously, where everyone's coming from. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't. Like, I do understand the concern, and I think it's one of the...
It's a worrying situation,
Okay, I'd just
especially
like to know,
for
why
the
did you bring it
mothers,
up? Why
innit?
did you bring it up in the beginning?
I don't know.
It's very stupid, wasn't it? Don't you think? To say such a thing, knowing that you're a mum and that you're saying that, and then you think that people ain't going to have a say on why you even said it in the beginning when that was not the conversation.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. I'm not saying I don't agree with that.
Okay, so that's why we're in the situation that we're in today. And then, yeah, that's why. And I didn't mention your name respectfully. I didn't. I was actually having a general conversation, asking people if they knew about this sort of behaviour, and they didn't know, and everyone had their say. And then you came up here and was like, well, it's a bit obvious that you're talking about me. You made it known to yourself in front of 100 and something people, once again, that I was talking about you, when no one would have known who I was talking about.
I mean, people, it was quite obvious with the
you
How
comments
was
that
it
were coming
obvious?
through.
It was only obvious
Like,
to the
I'm
people that
sorry.
knew about it.
Yeah, but it was quite obvious with the comments that were coming through.
What was the
talking about
comments?
smexomnia. She said, I'm not mentioning no names.
What is the
Asking if
comment?
anyone had spoken to me suddenly when that's brought
All
up.
someone said was, has
Asking
anyone
if it was
spoke
about
to
the argument yesterday.
Yeah, but
That's
who
quite
would have known about the
obvious.
argument yesterday? The argument yesterday could have been anything. Do you know how many arguments there are daily on this panel? Every day. No one would have known. You was paranoid because you knew it was about you, but no one else knew. And then you come up here and you made it known that it was you. So there's no gaslighting with that, unfortunately, because I didn't say your name, but you made it clear that it was your situation, and you came up here and you started getting rude when I don't feel like a person like you could actually get rude when you've got a whole shit show situation going on that you need to deal with, rather than shouting about everyone having their say after you yourself brought it to the panel. Chelsea, the reason why we can discuss it publicly is because she put it out publicly in the
Actually,
beginning.
I put it out months. It was probably about a month ago now.
Yeah, and no one said anything to you, have they? But
no one said
obviously
anything until
exactly.
yesterday.
But it triggered someone.
Until yesterday, when someone thought I was attacking them and then decided to bring it up and then apologised to me later that day.
Yes, and I already said I apologised to you.
And do you know what?
But
Well,
you
right
brought it
now,
up,
I'll be
Trey.
real with
No
you.
one
I
else.
rang Trey and I told Trey that she shouldn't have apologised to you, really. Because even though she said stuff and it went a bit OTT,
Yeah, I was
really
like
and
a bull in
truly
a
what she
china
said
shop, I was.
was nothing but the truth. So why was she even apologising, and why was she made to feel
Because she
like
was
she had done
vile. I
something
didn't
wrong?
do fucking anything wrong.
I'm vile. I don't have
That was vile.
Yeah, but why was
sleeping
she?
when I've got
Why
young
was she?
kids.
Why was she vile? Because she told you about the geezer that you've got in your house. The reason why she was vile was because of how she said it. Yeah, not because of what she was saying. What she said, you obviously felt attacked because it's the truth. Truth hurts sometimes, right? But at the end of the day, you brought it in here. You told that situation to 100 people. Yeah,
There wasn't 100 people in here at the time.
There was. There actually was 100 people. There
Not
was.
when I first brought it up. No, there wasn't.
Well, when you
The
first
numbers
brought it
went
up,
straight up
but by the
fast.
time you'd finished, there was 100 people in this live, right, Trey?
Yeah.
no,
There was.
Yeah, there was.
not
There
when
was.
I first brought it up weeks and weeks ago. There wasn't.
No, I'm talking. Actually, at that time there was about 80 people in the room. Actually, yeah. At that time there was 80 people in the room when you first brought it up about a month ago.
Joe, sorry,
Then
Chelsea.
yesterday the numbers went up fast. So by the time we'd finished, the numbers was like just over 100.
Yeah, we've got Chelsea in here saying no empathy towards this woman, no better. Do you know what? I would have had some empathy, but you know why I can't? Because this guy raped you when you first got married, right? And he didn't do this to you beforehand. So I find that creepy. He didn't have this condition before.
Yesterday,
he met you.
though, she was screaming at me. I said if I was
So
in
then
that situation,
consider it.
that would be
But
great.
Trey, I don't
And
understand.
she was
If you have a
screaming at me,
condition,
saying it wasn't grape, it wasn't grape. But the first time it was, you know.
yeah, and you didn't do anything about it, and then you've consented for this guy to basically shag you while you're sleeping. To me, that's vile. Because even if you've got something wrong with you, you should know yourself. You shouldn't even be around me, in fact. You should be sleeping in a different household to me and letting me just meet you when I feel like I need to meet you in an appropriate place. Because it's very weird how this can happen, and he's got away with it. So I'll tell you what it is. He's got away with it the first time, right? How do you not know that this guy done this stuff before but got married to you and then started doing it? Because he didn't have it before you married him. So then conveniently after you've married him, he's done this to you, and you've basically said
Do you
it's
not hear
okay.
what I said earlier about what was going on at the time when it started happening?
What, so everyone that gets stressed just thinks that they'll have a fiddle with someone while they're sleeping?
No, but it can cause it.
Didn't experience any stress whatsoever in the 2 years being with you. Haven't you?
Can we just bear
Not-
in mind
not
as
the type of
well?
stress that we had at that point. No.
Can we just bear in mind as well that Jodes is obviously going through this and may not have processed
Things aren't
like
adding up though. Still,
what it is
she said the
and
GP
how it is.
diagnosed him.
Yeah, but
a
Alicia,
GP. Nah.
Alicia, I get where you're coming from, but then again, this behaviour is still going on in a household where there are children present, and if you go into a deep sleep, how do you don't know if this, because
Yeah,
this guy
no, I
doesn't
get
know
that.
when
I
he's
was
doing
saying,
it.
like, if I was in that position, me personally, I'd be like, get out of my house. But I don't
Yeah.
think Jodes is processing the enormity of this, like,
I wonder if
regardless
she
of whether
gets it,
it's
yeah.
a condition or not. And I don't want to sound patronising or anything. And I understand, like, Auntie, I know that you speak how you speak, and like I get that you're pissed off because of other conversations that you lot have had. But it feels like he's the problem here, and we're saying to her, you
Yeah,
know,
no, I get
you've been
he's the
through great.
problem.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know he's the problem, but then you're the problem for having this problem around you. So it becomes then a problem. You're both the problem. Do you see what I'm saying? Because she said that, because I said, oh, does he know that you spreaded all this over the internet? She said, yeah, he was sitting beside me laughing. Really?
Oh, yes.
Mate, do you know what? Get him on the panel. That'd be so
And
fucking
Alicia, do you
interesting.
see why people are getting mad about it? Do
Yeah,
you
I
get
just
what I'm saying?
don't think that
panel.
she's taken it in like the enormity
him on.
of the situation personally.
So maybe you should go and get him then and bring him on the panel to explain
I
himself.
just said I'm not doing that.
Why? Because he doesn't know probably.
No, he does know. He was
If
literally
he finds
in
the
the same
situation
room as
funny,
me.
get him on the
And
panel.
am I
He
lying,
doesn't
though,
find
Joe,
it
that you
funny.
said
He
when
made a
he was
joke
here,
after
he
I
laughed,
was called
right?
a rapist.
Didn't he laugh though? But he laughed about that. Why would someone laugh about that?
He made a joke because
Oh, he made a
Green
joke,
called me
oh.
a rapist.
Okay, he made a joke. Oh.
Right, I said if I was in that situation, that's great. If I'd not consented to all this fuckery beforehand, the first time is great. You were screaming at me yesterday saying that's not great, that's not great. So yeah, it's
Personally,
great.
I didn't think it was. I
First
didn't
time
think
it was great, but
was.
to consent and allow it round the
I
kid.
just told you I didn't think
Yeah,
it
but you're saying you didn't think it was great, but you said that you was a survivor of a rape case before. So how did you not know? I don't understand.
CB, it's been
actually
going around my
joking.
head for a fucking month, and I kind of yesterday I exploded, probably
for no fucking
like a
reason.
bull out of a china shop. I was.
No,
That's how
because
it
Trey,
was.
do you know what it is? It was said to you, and you have your own trauma. Do you get what I mean? So you've probably held it in, and then it's took one thing for you to trigger, and then you've blown up yesterday. That is exactly what it was. It is a very disturbing situation for people that have actually been through it, and then for you to say in Discord that you fully gave consent for him to do that while you're sleeping is even more triggering, very disturbing.
You think I stay asleep when it happens?
Well, I don't know what you do.
Like, you think
I don't know.
Like, I'm just lying there asleep. Like, I don't know. Like, that makes no sense. Of course, I wake up. Because normally he does something. I'm not going to lie, him getting on top of me wakes me up. Like, I'm a deep sleeper, but I'm not that much of a deep sleeper. Do you know what I mean? When you're
if you're that much of a deep sleeper, you could crawl,
but
get out of bed
when
carefully through
someone's
the
getting
night
on
and
top
say,
of
"Oh,
you-
I can't remember doing this to the kids." Mate, it's fucking disturbing to me.
It's not normal.
Okay, it's not normal.
It isn't.
Okay.
Has he been referred or anything, James?
Well, he's going to go back to the GP because we didn't know that there was like sleep clinics and stuff for it. So he's going back to the GP, but he left the house yesterday.
Okay, and can you wake him up? You know when it's happening, are you able to wake him and say like, don't do that?
So sometimes he has woken up like halfway through and he's like, oh my fucking God, what the fuck? And then he gets off me straight away.
I've never heard of it, so I'm looking into it now, and I get where people are coming from.
Sometimes he will wake up halfway through and he's like, oh my fucking God, what the fuck? I'm so sorry. And then
But a GP diagnosed him,
he'll just get off
It wasn't referred to a specialist like a sleep order clinic.
One second,
for sleep monitoring or a neurologist, no? Okay.
No, the GPs are letting you down here.
Right.
Yeah, I agree,
George,
they are.
when he realizes and he wakes up, is it after you've woken up and
No.
you've spoken to him?
No, normally I'll be like, I wake up pretty much straight away. Like,
but before, didn't you say there's been times that he's done that to you and you've tried to push him off you and he won't get off you?
Yeah, because he's not woken up.
It's weird.
That was the first time.
Yeah, but don't you find it a bit suspicious, right? And a red flag that this has never happened to him beforehand. And I'm sorry, that ain't the first time he's had so much stress for it to then come on. It's very weird behaviour. If it's not happened before, haven't you questioned of why it's happening now? Like, it's not something you just get overnight if it's a condition. I'm sorry. You don't go to sleep one night with autism and wake up the next day and you haven't got it anymore.
I feel like he needs, I'm not a doctor obviously, but he needs like a sleep study. The GP's letting you down here, and I just hope that you and your children are safe. And I'm not saying that he's, a big PDF or anything, but obviously it's not ideal, and it's quite disturbing to listen to.
Can I just ask a question, right? So, I don't know about anyone else, but if you ever go to the doctors and they say you've got this, do we not go home and jump on Google and go, right, what is this he's told me I've got? What is this he's given me?
Absolutely, 100%.
It didn't come up with any of the.
Just like I did fucking last night.
No, I mean, it's just a genuine question. Like,
But it didn't.
if the doctor ever gives you anything,
the stuff about sleep studies and stuff like that. When I was,
It does come up because I went on Google and just showed you. It does
no,
come
but what
up
I'm saying is,
right
if
here.
he
But I'm
gave you,
telling you that this was like what, a year, nearly 2
it
years
don't matter how
ago.
long ago it is.
So I looked-
This
It's on
thing's been
Google.
around for
If
ages.
it's a thing that's been about it, it's been on
And I
Google
looked
for
into
ages.
causes, but I didn't necessarily look.
Yeah, but the
into,
doctor told you what it was.
Yeah, but like I said, I didn't look into the fact that there was that they could do sleep studies and stuff like that.
No, but you don't need to. What the
Can I
doctor
just say,
said is the
usually
doctor
when you go
said.
to a GP with a condition that's quite severe and affecting your daily life, right? They will say, "Oh, I think it could be this. I'm going to give you this medicine. Try see if this works, and just wait. We're going to refer you to X, Y, Z." That's exactly what happens. They don't just give you a diagnosis there, that's such of a thing, and then give you medicine and shove you off out of the place. It seems to me that there was more given, more not done, and that was that. And it's continued, and it's just like living life however.
And I've just looked, just with a simple Google search, I can find research and stories back to 2017.
Yeah, exactly. It's all on there. If it's a thing that's been about, and it is a thing that actually has been diagnosed to certain individuals, then obviously it is on Google. I typed it in straight away and it came up, and that's it. It's all over it.
Yeah, and like
anyway-
Steph just said, like, why was he just like, oh yeah, okay, cool, and just kept, you know what I mean? He needs to get this sorted because it's not fair on you. It's like what's happening to you is horrific. This is
It's disturbing and sick.
it's really deep.
I'll be back
And I
in a
don't know if
moment.
you're
I'm doing major surgery.
No
I mean,
problem.
first things first, we all know that doctor's appointments are literally about 5 minutes long. So if they've gone, right, yep, I know what's
10
wrong
minutes.
with him, this is what he's got, here's the treatment. First things first, like any human being surely will go, okay, what is this? Google. Okay, what are they giving me to help this? Google. I'm just a bit confused on that one. That's what isn't clicking with me, because anyone in the world surely is going, what the fuck am I taking here? What's it doing to me?
Exactly.
That's the only thing that doesn't click with me. And, you know, that's not down to you really, Jods, to be fair. As a bloke, why has he not done that and gone, what are they giving me and what am I taking? The only reason for that for me is because he doesn't care. Because he's made his own diagnosis and gone, this is what I'm going to do.
I was with him at the doctor's.
And she's like, okay, no problem.
Yeah, okay, well then that would make it the fact that you should then be doing that, if that's what you want to say. If you want to say I was there, then there's two of you that could have done it, if you know what I mean. I just feel like this guy's an excuse.
This whole thing's making me sick. I don't know about anyone else.
And that's not really your
Fucking
fault in a
sick.
certain sense. But
You know how many
if you're
men
willing
use
to
this
be
as an
there and
excuse,
still
though,
do
in
it
court?
with him, then you're fueling that excuse in a way.
That's you guys' opinion, innit, at the end of the
It's
day.
not an
like.
opinion, it's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it as an opinion, but my opinion is if I go to the doctors and the doctor says you've got this and here's what you need to take, then I go, okay, what the fuck's he just diagnosed me with and what am I taking?
But you would go
Especially
and
with something
look
like
it up
that, it's
and
not
then
a
look
very
into.
common case, you know what I mean?
You would look it up and see that, you know, you need sleep studies and blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and just do
exactly.
something
From a sleep disorder clinic.
to protect yourself, Joe.
I'm
do you know what
sorry,
I
can I
mean?
just say one thing to Katara in the fucking comments? First of all, spell my name right, because you've been pissing me off with that. And
I don't
second
feel
of
like
all,
you can come
please
at
can you
anyone at this point, so no, I'm going to stop you there.
Please
Don't
can you
ever
stop
fucking
coming
come at
at me?
Katara, yeah? You bitch of a woman. Like, now I'll mute. But don't come at Katara.
People are coming for you because
What, calling me a foolish woman and stuff?
Well, you are a
Well, you
foolish woman.
are.
She's not wrong, is she?
you're
So
moving
don't...
like you've got no savvy. Do you know what you're moving like? You're moving like you're a whole victim. You might be a victim, but you've now made yourself a victim by keeping this person around you that made you a victim in the beginning. You spreaded all your dirty laundry all over fucking TikTok when you didn't even have to be said. There weren't no conversation about it whatsoever. You randomly came out with it. You then said the geezer was laughing that someone called you a grapist. Like, do you think that's funny?
Not
For him
normal.
to laugh about something like that, a geezer to laugh about that, that would have been another red flag from me after you'd raped me the day before.
Well, to be fair, I'm just gonna.
He's laughing, sat next to an actual rape victim when she was raped a long time ago. He sat there laughing at her about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I don't get it. It's not normal.
You can't go for someone and saying about you when really
No, according to jokes, it's just a matter of opinion, guys.
morally
Just a
it's
matter
wrong.
of
And the way that it looks is like you are thinking more about yourself than you are your children by keeping this guy in the house, and not safeguarding them as such as you should. And you might think you are by but you shouldn't have to be in a household and having to put things in place like listening for a guy to jump out of the bed.
Yeah,
and
where
stuff.
there's a concern that
is the point.
something could happen. Like that's my point with it all.
Yeah, exactly. It's not me being nasty.
It has happened. This Auntie, it has. If you search
No, I mean
up,
in regards to the children.
yeah, like if you search up Damien Bendel, and see what he done. That person was someone's boyfriend that a woman took into her house and ended up raping her 11-year-old and then smurdering him after. I'm not saying it's gonna happen to you, but you have to take precautions.
Yeah, but is that sexsomnia, Z?
It's not. Well, he went straight to the thing.
Yeah, I remember that was not that long ago. That was horrible. Disgusting.
Yeah, it was exactly. And they were boyfriend and girlfriend for 4 years.
Yeah, but that's slightly different because he's not got this sexsomnia thing. But I'm genuinely concerned for Jodes and her
Alicia,
kids.
but you see this with
You don't
them.
need to be.
Unfortunately, them lot didn't get any red flags to leave early. George, if you're seeing red flags to leave early, you need to heed them warnings.
Yeah, I am, mate.
I'm not.
No.
I don't even want to sound like a patronising prick, Jodes. Honestly, I really don't.
No, you're fine. All I'm saying is I think I'm just gonna come off TikTok. I'm gonna sort my life out, sort my kids out.
George, it's not about coming off
I
TikTok.
need to
I'm
because
just
this is
saying
not
to you,
helping.
I'm just saying to you, George.
Do you know what would help?
Yeah, TikTok is definitely not helping. I agree with you on that.
Sleep studies.
Yeah, and I agree with that. He needs to go and do that, and he won't be back in my house living here until he does.
I don't even believe that.
Just heed them
You
warnings.
cannot believe it, but it's fucking true.
I'll be honest, I don't believe anything after the shit that you said yesterday in Discord and the things that you were
Is
digging.
it still
yourself
in
a
there,
deeper hole.
Auntie?
Yeah, the deep holes that you were digging and the things that you were saying. I mean to
Okay.
say, like well, I was speechless, and I'm not usually speechless, but I was actually feeling sick to the stomach yesterday.
Okay.
And that's why Katara and all that are saying what they're saying, because you came up here and you said a whole lot of stuff off of your own back about your situation. I don't know what kind of response you thought you was going to get, but you definitely didn't get the response that you thought. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen, because from when that happens, I don't care if I've been with you for 12 years, 15 years, 30 years, whether you're the father of my children or not, you're getting a kick up your ass and you're getting the fuck out.
1 second, Auntie. Everyone in the room, top left is a treasure box. Open it, grab a coin, and send a heart me. Carry on.
And there's 200 in the room. Can we get everybody double tapping, please? Get the lights
Joe, do you
up.
see from when you've consented to it happening because you understand his stuff that he's got going on? Yeah. Does that mean that if he was to actually do this innocently because he doesn't know what he's doing and he did do it to your child, would you still have the same energy that you gave him consent? Is he going to play with that?
No.
Well, he would, because you gave him consent. Because it's in his sleep. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm kind of looking at it as. If you look at it on the other thing and it happened, then what? Because you don't really know. It's about.
It's a really scary situation, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
actually like when you deep it, it's so deep and dark.
That's what we were saying earlier. You've given him consent.
Yeah.
But you've given him pre-consent to do it whenever he wants, and the doctor's given him the excuse behind it.
Mate, fucking hell.
You made the
So there's
situation
basically,
more dangerous.
there's no winning in that situation. So what I'm not getting is, how does it all of a sudden, you've been with this guy, and then afterwards,
After 2 years.
Magic.
after 2 years, it started happening, but it wasn't happening before he
Magic.
was married. I find that quite suspicious. It's like he's got comfortable, and like
do
Stephanie
you know what
said,
it is? No,
Stephanie,
what it
no, but
is, it's a
Stephanie,
marriage-
Devon,
it's a marriage
yesterday,
card.
yesterday Stephanie came in there and she approached it from a support angle, and she kept on digging herself a bigger hole. And Stephanie tried to shut it down with support and stuff, and she kept on digging a hole. And then she came out with a load of other stuff, and then everyone then turned because the things that were being said weren't mathing. And then it's a different story now.
To be honest, I don't think she's dealt with it right. But I also don't think she's had the right support and
I was going to
direction
say,
being sent.
Signposting to the correct people who can help you. Or
But as a parent, I don't care if this was myself and Auntie and I was the one that was doing this. The first thing to do is the children. The children come first. Right?
How's it took TikTok for her to kick
Your
him
relationship with
out?
your
You said
partner,
she's
your
kicked him out,
husband.
but how's it took TikTok for her to do that? How? I don't get it.
To be honest, I'm going to come off now because I think you've all said your piece. I understand where you're all coming from. And I'm just going to sort my life out.
Jode, sorry, before you go, please contact Women's Aid and just discuss this with them. Maybe they've come across it or they can point you in the right direction. But please, like, for yourself and your kids, Women's Aid are really, really good.
Is it this CB?
Excuse me.
Because I've heard about this literally today. I haven't had any involvement in anything to do with any of it, and please reach out to Women's Aid.
Well, just to let everyone know,
So if the GP actually thought it was that,
surgery
they
is
would have
finished.
referred him.
The duck is saved.
So if this was actually what he had and the doctor thought that, he would have had to he would have had to send him somewhere to do all of this kind of stuff.
I can't do this now.
You don't want the last words out of your mouth. You don't want
Can't
to
do
be
this
like,
because it's not nothing.
I should have listened. You don't want that coming out of your mouth. Just take some time and thingy it. Sort it out.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody else will agree, but I think the best thing that you can do is go and speak to a professional.
Yeah, definitely. Because
explain
I think
everything to them.
A specialist. Tell them you want to see.
Tell him to sort his own shit out. In my opinion,
a sleep disorder.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to be referred to a sleep disorder clinic. He needs sleep monitoring. He needs a neurologist to properly diagnose him. So he's not using it as a fucking excuse like men do.
I just think it seems like denial. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel really sad for in the whole situation. I just think it's really deep and dark.
I also think that people need to stop bringing up social services as well, because
you've said on many occasions I've never had social services involved, but you told us before on this panel just today that social services I've involved.
But it was nothing to do with
can I just say the reason why I disbelieve and I don't have really any remorse is that the stories that I've seen you carry on with, it's like you're trying to you're hiding something, basically. There's something not quite correct. It's either your kids ain't in your care and you're going on like they are, or you've got social involved and there's something behind closed doors that you haven't let on, and you've let on a certain thing which has opened a can of worms and now you can't get yourself out of it. Because that's what I kind of believe. I don't believe anything that you've ever said, because the things that you've backtracked on and you've said are totally different stories. And you have to understand, when you lie, you've got to be a great liar. Because if not, a lie will get caught out and there will be people that will listen to what you're saying. And then when you're coming with another story the next day, that person's thinking, oh, okay, well, she said this yesterday, but today she said this. It's not nothing.
I said that they haven't been involved with me.
You've never had social services involved, but then on the panel before you said social
So
services.
if the social services ain't involved, if the social services ain't involved with you, who are they involved with?
Their dad, their birth dad.
Okay, their birth dad, but then they still go to their birth dad, right?
You're their mother.
Hold on, but your kids are in.
But I was never
But your kids have.
investigated.
So he's got social services, right? And you haven't, but the kids are in his care, correct?
No.
So what then?
My elder two have a different dad to my younger one. My younger one's dad came into their lives when I was still pregnant with my middle.
1 second before, she said the elder one had one dad and the other two had
No,
another.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
you said the eldest had one dad and the two
didn't.
No, she said the two older ones was to a different dad to the younger one.
That's what
She
said. The oldest one had a different dad.
No, I didn't.